Hey, yo, what's up, YouTube? It's YT. Wake 'em up. The YT stands for Yate. Back at it again with another video. This one is about how people are simply not paying their bills anymore. They just gave up on it. They're not paying no more. They don't care no more. Y'all know how we do on this channel. We get into daily rants about what's going on in the economy on an economic level. If you want to see these type of videos pop up on your timeline, smash the subscribe button. I need everybody that's watching to thumbs up this video so the algorithm can push it out to new viewers. And also drop a comment below at any time letting me know what you think about any topic that's being discussed throughout this video. Let's not waste time. Let's get right into this thing, man. Let's go.
I'm done paying my credit card bills. I didn't pay them off. I'm done paying them. I don't want to pay them anymore, so.
He looked relieved though.
Feels pretty good.
See?
Pretty freeing. I'm getting a lot of phone calls from 800 numbers, but it's probably not that big of a deal.
Them debt collectors calling.
Dude, these fucking... I didn't think I liked dark chocolate or almonds. But when you mix the two together, something crazy happens. Yeah, so. All right, guys.
Not gonna lie, my boy looked relieved. It's like a burden was taken off of his shoulders. I can sense it. He said I'm getting a lot of 1-800 numbers calling. Yeah, them debt collectors calling, but did you know that it's actually illegal for credit bureaus to sell your information to debt collectors? According to the FCRA, the Fair Credit Reporting Act. I do credit repair, I know these things, right? If they do sell off your information, if they do sell the debt off, they're supposed to notify you through mail with an update of the current amount that you owe, which they usually don't do. Also, it's illegal for them to put anything on your credit report without you signing off on it, unless you admit to that debt on the phone. You know, when they call you, if you admit that you owe that debt, then they could tie you to the debt. Also, everything has to be 100% accurate and verifiable on your credit report, or you can get it removed. 9 times out of 10, there are some errors on your credit report. Stop paying medical debt. Let's see what this dude talking about.
How old were you guys when you realized that medical debt does not matter? Medical debt does not matter. It never did, never has. Okay? I've never paid a bill from the hospital. Are you kidding me? I was sicky boo. Mr. Doctor, you make enough money. I don't know where it's coming from, but you're getting it. You don't need my money.
He took some advice from TikTok. Once again, you cannot pay it. It'll go on your credit report, mess your credit up. But the great thing is your credit can always be repaired. Did you know? Look, I'm gonna keep hitting y'all with these. Did you know the average millionaire goes broke 3 times? They gotta repair their credit at least 3 times. So don't feel like it's over if your credit messed up. You just have to repair it. It take about 6 months to repair, 6 months to rebuild. Right? So give yourself a year. Within the next year, you could be in a way better situation than a lot of Americans. Because people just never take action. They think once their credit is destroyed, it's forever. It's eternal. You got to take action. I know people that need their credit repair for like the last 5-10 years. It's like, just go ahead and do it. With that being said, though, if you do need your credit repair, hit me up on my Instagram. That's in the description, BizByTay. We can get that taken care of. We got AI softwares that actually sends out the dispute letters through Metro Compliance, which are the laws that govern you as a borrower of credit. 30% of Americans aren't paying bills. Watch to the end. You know we're going to do that, my boy.
So I just found out that 30% of Americans are not paying their bills. Yeah, you heard that right. 30% of Americans are not paying their bills. Now, if we look at the entire U.S. population, we'll round it up to 350 million. Let's say 350 million. Now, anywhere between 50 and 100 million of those people are not paying bills. They're not old enough to have expenses or be responsible for those expenses. So let's just wipe out, let's say 50 million to make it easy. So 350 down to 300 million. That means if 30% of Americans are not paying their bills, that is a little under 100 million people have just said, nah, I'm good. I'm okay. Not paying my rent. Landlord, kick rocks. Fuck off. Car, nah, who cares? Let the dealer eat that one. Who gives a fuck? Nah, it's my car. You're going to have to take it out of my cold, dead hands is what they're saying.
True. People taking the trackers off them whips, and hey, you're going to have to find it. You're going to have to come get it. Another thing they saying, basically, I guess they're backed up with repossessions to the point that a lot of people are going months or longer without them even, trying to take their vehicle from them.
And look, first and foremost, I have to give them all the respect in the world, because if you're telling your creditor to fuck off, you're giving them the middle finger. Shit, you might be giving them 2 middle fingers and just saying, nah, not getting money this month. Nah, not getting money next month. Maybe 3 months. No, 3 months. That's a little bit too soon. Like, respect to you. Respect to you. That takes a set of cojones. Now, for some of these people, it might just be desperation. They don't have a choice. They don't have another option. This is option A, B, C, D, E combined. This is the only way out. So for them, not as much respect, at least in terms of the cojones part. I understand where you're coming from, though. And I hope that the financial struggles those people are going through get alleviated sooner than later, if at all. I hope they get alleviated, because I hate seeing this. And really, all jokes aside, though, it is disheartening to see that many people just giving up on paying bills. Not because it's a moral thing, like, oh, you should pay your creditors off. No, it's not about that. It's just the fact that they're in a position where they literally can't make another choice, where the only choice is to say, no, you're not getting paid. My heart goes out to people, because I see them every day. I drive them every day. I'm not in great areas when I drive around. I'm not going out to the wealthy areas to pick people up. Very rarely do I. I'm always in the poorer neighborhoods. I'm always at the lowest income bracket, the bottom of the bottom. So I see these people. I talk to these people. They're great human beings. They're wonderful human beings. They're some of the nicest, most caring, empathetic people I've ever met. And they can't pay their bills. And it's fucked. It's fucked. But really what it shows is that the evidence is becoming irrefutable. The only thing that is holding this house of cards together is the stock market price, the fact that unemployment isn't above 4 or 4.5% yet, and because the CPI inflation report isn't as high as it was. What is it at? Like 3.1, 3.2, something like that, even though we all know the CPI is a load of shit.
I was just about to say, all of those numbers are not true. They're manipulated. The Federal Reserve manipulates the markets to make it seem like the economy is booming. But in actuality, we're in a recession already, man. Remember when they were saying basically, are we in a recession? If you have to question if we're in a recession, we're in one. Trust me, we're in one. But not just that. What's going on in the economy shows that we are in a recession. Don't listen to the news. Don't listen to the media. They just want this to be the biggest collapse ever. Bigger than the '08 crash. Bigger than the Great Depression.
Those 3 numbers are holding the whole system together. And I want to hear what you have to say below, because I always tell you, I'm not always right, but I'm always real. And I want to learn from you just as much as I hope you learn from me, or at least gain something from my perspective, even though some people think I'm fucking loony, which I might be. But in any case, let me know what you think down below. Let me know what you're experiencing on the ground, because I want to get in touch with the reality of the situation where you're at, so that I can learn and have a better perspective on what's going on. Because in my mind, this number is just another nail in the coffin to what is an already dead economy.
Landlords are definitely taking a hit. They've been taking a hit since the rent reliefs. And there was some landlords in my comments. They said how they're in debt, so they have to raise prices as well. So it's just a lose-lose for everybody. People aren't paying. Landlords aren't being paid. The credit card companies aren't being paid. Nobody's being paid back right now. Everything is on the verge of collapse within this country at this point. A 93-year-old Florida woman stops paying rent because she thought she was going to perish soon. Hey, they be tripping in Florida. They be tripping. They got the wildest people. Hey, if you from Florida, I'm sorry, but it's wild out there. It's wild out there. Come on now.
I'd go back there and marry if I could.
Dressed in an orange jail jumpsuit with bruises on her arms and handcuffs around her wrists, Juanita Fitzgerald wanted to tell us her side of the story.
I don't have anybody My family's in Tennessee, and I don't tell my son anything that's going on.
She says the Franklin House facility in Eustis has been her home for the past 6 years, but on Sunday she was evicted. A spokesperson for the facility says she told them she thought she was going to die soon and had not paid her portion of the rent in the past 3 months. But Juanita tells a very different story.
You never said to them you felt you were going to die soon and that's why you weren't paying rent.
No.
Juanita says the Franklin House did offer her assistance and tried to find her another place to live, but she refused, and she refuses to ask for help from anyone in her own family.
I don't want them to help me. I don't need no help. I got all the help I need.
She say, I got all the help I need. Yeah, they gonna give her housing and food. She say she'd rather be locked up. For real though. You need somewhere to stay, go ahead and commit you a crime. You get you a fresh meal. I mean, it might not be fresh, it might not be good, might not be healthy. But you got somewhere to lay your head and you got something to eat. I respect her though. She say she don't want no help from nobody. She not finna reach out to the fam, had them all up in her business. I feel her. She say she thought she was finna pass away. She ain't paying no rent. They done came and locked her up though. She 93 up in there. I hope ain't nobody picking on her, man. I hope she got people that's, looking out for her, making sure she's straight. Why did they arrest her, though? I never seen nobody get arrested for not paying their rent. It's only been 90 days. Florida different.
So about a year ago, I kind of had a nervous breakdown and stopped participating in capitalism. And what I mean by that is, I stopped paying my bills and stopped giving a shit about my credit score that I had been working years and years and years to fix, because as I paid more and more, they were like, penalty. And so I was like, you know what? I don't even care. I just stopped. And now I'm getting all these things in the mail where they're like, you owe us money. And I'm like, prove it.
That's another thing when it comes down to credit. They have to prove that you owe them that debt, right? So say you were to try to get your credit repaired, you send in a debt verification letter. Verify that I owe this debt. Prove it to me. I'm just dropping gems on y'all that's trying to get y'all credit right too, man.
And my credit score is somehow going up. It's like, we see all the hard work you've done at ignoring this, so we're gonna give you points, because that's, I think, how it really works. So anyway, I guess the point is none of this is real. We're on a big floating rock in the middle of, the universe. And it's all made up and the points don't matter. You're doing great.
All right, that last little analogy, she kind of lost me right there, but I get it. It's like we live in the Matrix. None of this is real, she's trying to say, basically. But the thing is this. The reason her score probably went up after she didn't pay off anything is because more than likely she had inquiries that fell off. That's probably what it is. Her inquiries fell off after 2 years. That will have your score go up.
I feel like if we as a collective just stop paying our rent, the government cannot evict us all. What they gonna do? They really gonna evict everybody? They won't. There's no reason I should have to pay $2,000 to lay my head down. The fuck? That is crazy to me. I mean, granted, you could be homeless, but who the fuck wants to do that? There's no logical reason on why you should have to pay to live somewhere where you was born. That's crazy to me. What the fuck?
Now, we shouldn't have to pay to live in a country that we built up from the ground up throughout history, or, our ancestors and all of that. We should be able to live off the land. I agree with that. But you don't pay that rent, you're getting evicted, my boy. So he said, who don't want to be homeless? Well, that's what you're going to be if you stop paying your rent. You're going to be homeless. So you got to pick between which one you want to do. Pay your rent or be homeless.
Anyone else have a debt that they just refuse to pay? You are not paying unless there are some serious legal consequences. Let me tell you, I have one. It's only because of this insurance company, but it was a small bill. It was $140. They added it to my credit. I could have been paid it. Yes, I could have paid it. It's $140, but it's the principle behind the situation why I chose to let my credit score drop. Because I did not agree with it. And I refused to pay it. I said, I'm not paying this unless there are some kind of enforceable legal consequences that will be taken. I'm not paying it. I refuse. What debt do you just refuse to pay?
So on this one right here, sometimes you got to put your pride to the side. It's no reason to stand on principles over $140 because you're playing yourself out of the opportunity at hundreds of thousands of dollars in credit funding. You know, that could put you in a different financial bracket. But over $140 that he refused to pay, his credit went down the drain. I just don't agree with it. Over 140. Now, a couple thousand is what it is. Got to do what you got to do. You ain't got it, you ain't got it. But he got it. You just didn't want to pay it. That's just stupid to me. I ain't gonna lie. You played yourself. Y'all know me. I keep it 1,000.
30% of Americans are not paying their bills.
This one a stitch.
Yeah, you heard that right.
Yo, when is our economy gonna collapse? Because it's crazy out here right now. When does a nation of fed up people just say fuck it? And with all these videos coming out, it's slowly happening. People not paying their taxes, people not paying their bills. That guy in the video I was stitching was saying people are just saying, fuck it. You're gonna have to come get my shit. But I ain't paying it because I can't. I don't get paid enough. Everything going up in cost. And our wages aren't. It's an economic boycott. And I'm here for it. It just sucks because we should not have this problem. There's so much money, but because we have a class of people who are greedy, conniving, sick individuals that are power hungry, we can never have a nation of prosperity for everybody. It's sickening and it sucks. And the only way to fight back is to not pay these bills.
Not paying your taxes? That's a whole different discussion right there. If people ain't paying it, who out here not paying their taxes? Y'all gonna be like DMX. They finna lock you. You finna be locked up. I'm locked up, they won't let me out. Hey, bro, what you in for? Oh, yeah, you know I ain't pay my taxes. Man, you gotta pay them taxes, though. Uncle Sav gotta get his cut, man. If you don't pay nothing else, pay them taxes. You know, that is the government. People think that credit bureaus are the government. No, they're not. They're not an entity that's owned by the government. They're an independent, private entity. Taxes? That's the government. You better pay them taxes. But it sounds like it's an economic boycott going on. If people want to call it that, a revolution, people standing up against the government for their own rights, whatever you want to deem it. At the end of the day, though, you got to have a plan. You can't just not pay and not have a plan. You're going to be homeless. At least do van life. Get you some land. You know, if you want to escape the matrix. Travel the world in your van or your car, whatever you want to do, and just live in nature. Whatever you want to do, cool. I ain't got nothing against that, but if you don't got no plan, you have a plan to fail. This the last one we gonna get into on this video, before this video be too long. Stop paying your bills, keep the asset. He talking about language, asset. It's assets over liabilities. So let's see his spiel on this one. Hopefully he dropping some game. Everybody else a little delusional. Nah, bad, I ain't gonna say that.
Here's a thought. Since all of the banks around the world are starting to collapse, they've already been collapsing all around the world. It's just now hitting the United States. The United States, which is a corporation based out of Washington, D.C., which is bankrupt for now the 5th time in the history of the United States, and is being replaced by the quantum financial system, which is gold-backed, silver-backed, actual commodities backing these financial systems.
The quantum financial system, my boy know what he's talking about, right? The U.S. dollar used to actually be backed by gold. It was taken off the gold standard. Now we have a worthless piece of paper. The only value that it has is the value that they give it. We know that a $100 bill is worth $100. That's the only value that it got. We have to actually go back to what was working for us to be a flourishing nation.
So here's my suggestion. Since there are over 150 banks that are getting ready to follow suit with Silicon Valley Bank, just stop paying your bills. Stop paying your bills and reach out to someone like myself or someone on TikTok that knows how to get these debts removed, because even though our processes might be a little different, the end result's the same. Your debt is wiped from your credit report because you can't pay a debt with the debt. Federal Reserve notes are debts. HJR 192 says that creditors can't demand a specific form of payment. All debts are discharged upon demand. That means that they can't ask you to pay for something that's already paid, because truth be told, you can't pay for something with the debt. So you borrowed some money, You borrowed a debt because there is no money, and then they're asking you to pay for that debt with the debt. The Federal Reserve note means debt, is a debt. So it's already done. The system's done, it's collapsed. Only thing that's gluing it together right now is the people that are still paying their bills. Stop paying your bills. Reach out to someone that knows how to remove that shit. Get everything wiped out. Keep the asset. Go buy silver and gold. Behold.
Go buy silver and gold, behold. Yes, sir. Buy those precious metals that will go up in value. You know, gold and silver, it reached all-time highs this year. And this is just the beginning. But yeah, the US dollar is nothing but a debt note. Right? It's legal tender. The US dollar is legal tender, which is a debt note. That's all it is. So he right. Get all of that taken off your credit, man. And if you need that done, like I said, click the link in the bio and head over to my Instagram, and I got y'all. If y'all need that, just hit my DM. We can go back and forth. We can get on the call, whatever y'all want to do. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. If you made it to the end of this video, I want you to say, I made it. Because we all going to make it. We're going to make it out of this situation. If you made it to the end of this video, that means you finish everything that you start. Comment, I made it. I'm out, y'all. Peace.